But there are two ways that we could solve this problem. Keep in mind that if we're in a ACT or SAT and we see this problem, keep in mind that our goal is we want to try to solve the problem as quickly as possible. So you'd find that a lot of people recommend um, maybe the best and quickest method is to use um, I guess just guess one of the answers. And it's always recommended to choose or to start with the middle answer first. So with the ACT multiple choice, if you have like five multiple choice, um, you will always see the answers either go in increasing order. Sometimes they go in decreasing order as well. But the point that I want to show you is that the answers always seems to represent themselves either in increasing or decreasing order. So, for example, you may see answers for you to choose 2, 3, 5, 8, 21, or you may see it in reverse: 21, 8, 5, 3, 2. So it's always recommended that you always start with the answer in the middle first, and then based on the process of elimination, if you have to choose the answer which is small, when you look at a smaller value or bigger value. This method is always preferred just to save time. Okay, so that's our first method in solving our problem. We're actually gonna use that method first. And you see that for the problem, we see that answer choice H is equal to 6. So now we want to see if that makes sense. We want to see if 6 is the longest. If 6 is the longer side, then what potentially is the second side? So we know that the area, which is the length times width, must equal to 18 feet squared. Okay, so if that's the case, if one of those dimensions is 6, then the other has to be 3. Okay, now let's see if these two L and W hold true when we now consider the perimeter. The perimeter is 2 times 2 length 2L plus 2W. Okay, and that has to equal 18. So let's see if that's the case. 2 times 6 is 12. And then 2 times 3 is 6. So yeah, 12 plus 6 is 18. So in this instance, we guessed correctly. We started correctly in that we now find the answer is 6. Okay, that probably took us about a minute or so. Just for the sake of seeing how the problem is done in the second method, why don't we go ahead and do that now? Okay. Let's just say we wanted to solve the same problem. How would we go about solving it? Okay, so once again, we know that the perimeter of that rectangle is equal to 18. Okay, and the perimeter is 2 times the length plus 2 times the width. Okay, L times the width. It's supposed to be a rectangle, not a square, but you get the point. Okay, we're also told that, and we're just going to label this equation 1, okay? We're also told that the area, which is the length times the width of the same rectangle, is equal to 18 feet squared. Okay, so how would we solve this problem if given the opportunity? Okay, so what I typically would solve the problem. If I look at equation 1, I would solve for L or W. I could also do that for equation number 2, and we solve or address it that way. So if I look at equation 1, we get 2L plus 2W is equal to 18. Break it down further. 2L is equal to 18 minus 2W. And then L must equal to 18 minus 2W divided by 2. Okay? So if we take what we found now in L and we put in equation 2, what we get is we get 18 minus 2w divided by 2, all multiplied by w, which is equal to 18. So if we look at this now, we further this could be 18 over 2 multiplied by 2w over 2. And that's all multiplied by w equals 18. Okay, so we carried on here. We expanded, that becomes 9w minus w squared equals 18. Okay, so if we now put this in the form of a quadratic equation, we see that it now looks like w squared minus 9w plus 18 equals 0. Okay, I hope you followed that. So now once we do that, we can now try to simplify and finding out the two values of w. So we know that the two values when added must equal to minus 9, but when multiplied gives you a positive 18. What two values when added together gives you a minus 9, but when multiplied gives you a positive 18? Those two values are minus 6 and minus 3. And just to test it out real quick, this would turn out to be w squared minus 3w minus 6w plus 18. W squared minus 9w plus 18. Yep, and that proves itself out. Okay. So what do we find here now? We now find that w can either be, because w minus 6, we said w minus 6 equals 0, or w minus 3 equals 0. That in turn would mean w would equal to 6, or w would equal to 3. Okay, so when we find, substitute now these values back into equation 1 or 2 up here, we see that L times 6 equals 18, and therefore L has to equal 3. Okay, if we look at the second part, that if W can equal to 3, we see that, and we put it into equation 2, we say L times W equals 3 if L times W equals 18. If W equals to 3, then L must equal to 6. So we see that the longer side must equal to 6. So this is the mathematical way of finding out the same solution that our problem equates to answer H, which is 6. Okay, but you see how much longer it is figuring out this way as opposed to just looking at choosing an answer in a multiple choice, and then from there determining the next logical answer from there. Okay, so hope that helps.